Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Guys, in this video, I will be discussing the Cognizant Gen C Elevate interview experience. This interview happened recently only on 10th September 2021. And guys, this is the third Gen C Elevate interview experience that I'm covering on my channel. The first two interview experiences have already been posted on my channel. You can find those videos in this Cognizant Gen C Elevate interview experience playlist. So guys, make sure that after watching this video you watch all the videos which are present in this playlist also. I will give the link of this playlist in the description box as well as in the I button. So make sure that after watching this video you watch these videos also. And guys, many of you are requesting me to post Gen C interview experiences also. So guys, I already have a Cognizant Gen C interview experience playlist on my channel. Again, I will give this link in the description box. Make sure to visit this playlist. Here you can find 5 Gen C interview experiences, and I hope it will help you in preparing for your interview. Guys, if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe it as well as join my Telegram groups also. I am posting a lot of updates on different companies which are hiring as well as the questions which are getting asked in them. The links of the Telegram groups are given in the description box. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so guys, the date of the interview was 10 September 2021. The branch of my friend is ECE and the duration of the interview was 40 minutes. Guys, this interview was slightly on the easier side. So here are the questions. So first question was, as you all know, is introduce yourself. I have covered this question in many videos please make sure to include only those skills in which you are comfortable in and you can answer it. You can also include your projects, internship, extracurricular activities and your hobbies in this introduce yourself. So please prepare this question very well. Okay, now next question was explain different types of OOPS concept. Again guys, if you are following the videos of any interview experience that I am covering, so in every second video this question has been asked. So guys, for this particular question I have made a separate video on my channel, that is 4 pillars of OOPS. In that I have explained abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance in detail, and how you have to explain these terms to the interviewer. I will give the link of this video in the I button, so make sure to visit that video after watching this video. Now next are what are access modifiers. So guys, there are generally 3 types of access modifiers. One is public, private, protected. Again, I have made a separate video on access modifiers on my channel. Again, I will give it the link in the I button, so make sure to watch that video also. Okay, now next is what is local and global variable. So we all know while we are programming, so these are the 2 major types of variables that are used. First is global variable. The global variables are declared outside all the functions block. Now the lifetime of global variables is the lifetime of program, but whereas the local variables are declared inside the functions, and the lifetime of local variable is the lifetime of that particular function only. So this is the major difference between global variable and local variable. Now again, the scope remains throughout the program and the scope is limited to remain within the functions. Now any change in the global variable affects the whole program where it is being used. Any change in the local variable does not affect the other functions of the program. So guys, global variable, the lifetime of global variable is for the program, and wherever we make a change in the global variable, it is reflected in entire program. And whereas in local variable is defined inside a particular function only, and if we make any change to that variable, then the change is valid for that particular function only and not the entire program. So I hope this question is clear to you. Now next is difference between list and tuple. So guys, again, this is a Python question and it is a very commonly asked question. Whenever a Python question will be asked, this will be your second or third question, that what is the difference between list and tuple. If you want to know more Python questions, I have a separate video on my channel in which I have discussed the most important interview questions for Python. Again, I will give the link in the I button. So for this question, difference between list and tuple. So what is this? Lists are mutable and tuples are non-mutable, immutable. It means that whenever we enter an element in the list, we can either delete it, we can either remove it, either change it. So this is what a mutable means, whereas tuples are immutable. Once a tuple has been created, we cannot change the elements inside it. We cannot remove it, we cannot insert any other elements. So this is the major difference between list and tuple. Again, list consumes more memory and tuple consumes less memory, because it is clear with the definition only that these consumes less memory as compared to list. Okay. Now next is what is Python dictionary. Again, it is a basic data structure present in Python. Now dictionary is like a hash map. If you have known different languages, it uses key value pair. So basically, dictionary in Python is an unordered collection of data values used to store data values like a map, as I told you, hash map, which unlike other data types that hold only a single value as an element. So dictionary holds a key value pair. So for accessing any For accessing any key in Python dictionary, the complexity is O of 1. We can directly fetch the value out of the key if we have key. So it is a key value pair concept in dictionary, and it is similar to the hash map. Okay. Next is program to check if a number is prime or not. Again, it's a very basic question that can be asked from you in an interview. So I will give the link of this question in the description box. Make sure to visit it. So I hope you know what our prime numbers are. Prime numbers are those which are either divisible by 1 or by themselves. Okay. Now, next are what are the various projects you have worked on. So guys, again, in any interview, in any company, this question will be asked to you that explain about your projects, and you must explain in brief about your project, what technology stack has been used, what are the challenges you faced, what is the future scope of that project. You must prepare all these questions for all those projects you have mentioned in the resume, because in the end, there can be questions like what all challenges you faced and how you overcome those challenges and what was your role in that inside that project. So make sure to include at least one project in your resume, because it gives a very good impression that you have worked on technologies in real life. Okay. Now next is what certification do you have. So my friend had done certification in Python. So he told that he had done courses on Udemy, on separate platform Coursera, on Python only. So again, you can also, if you have certifications, you can tell the interviewer that you have certifications. And if you don't have, you can simply say I took help from YouTube channels, because we all know YouTube channels does not give certifications. But you can say that I have learned these things from YouTube channel or from the college studies. So it is perfectly fine. Okay. Now the last question of this interview was, do you have any hands-on experience on your certification? So guys, certification means that you have done any courses from outside. So whenever a course has been done from outside, there are projects included in that course. So you will have a good hands-on experience if you have done any courses from outside for the certification. So yes, you must have a hands-on experience when you have done the courses. But these are all the questions which are asked in this interview. I hope these questions will help you in preparing for your interviews. So guys, this was it for this video. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching it.